Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 6 carries, 188 and 3 scores on Saturday night. Jamar Chase, 6 catches for 144 and 2 scores. Joe Burrow, 23 of 28, 327 and 3 scores.
Not often does your running back have a higher yards per carry average than your wide receiver does yards per catch, but that's how insane Clyde Edwards-Helaire's game was on Saturday.
So LSU won the West.
Yeah,
how
about it?
On Saturday night. They're going to Atlanta. Stamped their ticket to Atlanta. First time since 2011 when T-Bob and that team went and played Georgia for an SEC title game. Won that game and moved on to the national championship. After the win on Saturday night, not a lot of people were talking about the victory over Arkansas. It was really everybody focusing on this Saturday.
Before we go to A&M, though,
I don't want to get to A&M. I just want to talk about the post-game messages
I want to
A&M.
play the post-game quote that we have at the top of the document here about the lack of celebration for beating Arkansas.
So this is Ogeron's last soundbite from Saturday night.
No, that's right. We there was going to be not too much of a celebration to beating Arkansas. They haven't beaten anybody in a long time. So we were supposed to win that football game on to Texas A&M.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I mean, if that doesn't perfectly sum up just how bad this Arkansas game was, like all week long, all game long, that quote just says it all. And he's right. He's right. I mean, Arkansas, whatever. They were the next team on the schedule, and that was as much as you could say about them.
So if that clip really kind of was a recap of what Saturday night in the mood was, here's a clip of what kind of lays out what the mood will be like this week in preparation for A&M.
No question. There's no question about that. It's going to be on. I'll never forget that game last year. We're going to be ready.
I mean, that giggle, it's a dangerous giggle.
I mean,
no question. There's no question about that. It's going to be on. I'll never forget that game last year. We're going to be ready.
It's like when the bad guy in the
movie.
movie.
It wasn't even a laugh. It was like I don't even know what to call that.
It's like when the guy walks in the room and got you in the corner and you got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, man, like
it's the sadistic torturer that's about to make you spill all your secrets.
So same sentiment from Burrow, LSU's quarterback. Here he is in the post game talking about this Saturday night.
Excited for Saturday. Excited.
Why did that one go?
Chance to go 12-0.
So the video's better.
So the video, you can really see what's going on.
But even if you're sitting in your car listening to the audio, you can kind of get it.
You can get the reaction, right?
He makes a facial expression of when the reporter asks what's on the line. He kind of he steps away from the mic and kind of gives that Burrow smirk in the chance and says we have a chance to go 12-0. But he's really meaning that they have a chance to avenge what happened to him last year in College Station. Here's Clyde Edwards-Helaire talking about the loss last season and how this program has thought about that for the last calendar year.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Especially when you have guys in here immediately after the game. It's like it's already redemption time as far as next week. I mean, the gears already switched. That's how it's been every week. To see those guys go in and like, hey, next week, starting on Monday, it's back to it because we owe those guys a lot from last year. The pain, everything that we felt last year, sitting in that stadium, however many hours that we sat in there to understand that pain as a player, it doesn't get any worse than that. So a lot of those veteran guys who were here last year, I mean, the gears already switched them, and I'm ready to start watching film on it tonight. So I hope they gonna shoot it out to the iPad.
Have you ever heard a team talk about a game in a regular season like this? I mean, that's immediately following Saturday night.
Yeah,
every team I've ever covered, every team I've ever been on, every team I've ever been around. I mean, the 24-hour rule exists. It doesn't matter who's next. If it's your hated rival or somebody that you think you're just going to crush, you celebrate what you just accomplished.
Yeah. No, I mean,
LSU just won the West.
Yeah, I know.
And they don't care at all.
They got bigger goals. I mean, that's what they've been telling us all year long,
the bigger goal?
The goal was, at first it was like the goal was not just to go to Texas and win. The goal was not just to beat Florida, not just to beat Auburn. The goal was not just to go to Tuscaloosa and win. They have championship aspirations and have had them all season long. But that's what I kind of love about this A&M game is because you've got the West wrapped up and basically nearly a playoff wrapped up, like there could be potential to start to look forward to an SC championship or to start to overthink about those championship aspirations yet because of how badly last season went, no, they're going to be locked in for Saturday. As far as I've ever heard a team speak like this, I don't know. Not in my mind. Hanny would probably be a better person to ask him. Just, unfortunately, we don't know if Hanny's going to be in show business anymore.
Yeah, not sure if Hanny retired tonight. Do have a text out to him to see what he's going to do on his first day of retirement and see if we can get him on in the second hour to lay out who is going to be hosting alongside Jimmy Ott. I did listen to Ben Mintz and Jimmy Ott yesterday morning on my way to the Dome, and we're missing the boat. Somewhere along the way, Cade Wassan needs to create some programming for Ott and Mintz. Did you hear what they got into yesterday in Natchez? Like, they ended up at a house party. A couple of Ole Miss buddies that Mintz knew from Natchez was having a watch party with some football games. He shows up with the Ott father to a house party in Natchez. Those guys end up staying till like 9 o'clock last night.
Hey, when you're Ott, you're Ott.
Board. Yeah. Mintz has a hashtag, when you're Ott, you're Ott.
It's the best. In light of his karaoke last week. And just so people aren't freaking out in the car, Hanny just tweeted yesterday that
if they overturn this one, I'm stepping out of show business.
Yeah, which maybe just means he retires from Song of Purple and Gold, which would be a huge disaster.
If you allow that to happen, that's a mark on you.
Because he's probably the strongest out of the supporting cast. No offense to anybody else here.
None taken.
No, I love you all.
Slightly.
Look, man, Saturday was awesome.
So real quick, Saturday. Let me recap Saturday with this.
Yeah, we barely touched on it.
12 tackles for Jacob Phillips, which I thought was a phenomenal showing for him. The defense played, I thought, for as good as they could have.
The defense played great. Everybody chill out. If you're trying to come at me with two late scores, dude, I'm not.
Jacoby Stevens had 3 sacks.
Yeah.
Jacob Phillips had 12 tackles. They threw at Derek twice. Derek Stingley Jr. twice. He had 2 pass breakups.
It was obvious you could just man up and bring the house, and the quarterback was going to fold. He didn't know where to go with the ball. He couldn't figure it out all night long.
Not only did he not know where to go with the ball, how about your boy sliding 2 yards before the first down and stepping out of bounds a yard before a third
getting
down
hit
pickup?
Hurts.
Like
he was getting lit up the
entire
entire game.
Like, bro, 6 inches and you got us a first down. Just send the punt team out there, punt it.
Also, remember, Tua did the same thing in the Alabama game when he slid early against LSU. Sometimes, look, you're trying to be smart. You try to avoid contact. You get a little lost in the moment, and you always have to remember, the ball is down where you start your slide. Right. It's not where you end. It's where you start. So I get it. But yeah, look, I don't blame him because, like I said, he was getting
KJ Jefferson.
He was getting beat up all night long, dude. And that come on. You want to be out there down 42-6, just knowing you got to go out there and get hit by Jacob Phillips again or Jacoby Stevens? Are you kidding me? So you got to tap your helmet and be like, Coach, come on, dude, just take me out the game. I'm over this. I'm done. Let's move on.
Hannah Griff tweeted yesterday in between the play call on the goal line for the Saints and the review, if they overturn this, I'm quitting show business. After they overturn it, Hanny tweeted, screw it. I'm changing my name and profession. From now on, I'm Elmer Fudd, garment salesman.
Okay, is he working over at Carriages? Let's go show up.
It'd be a nice. Think about you walk into your Clothier this morning and Hannah Griff's giving you your
I would
advice.
love it. You could ask him any sports question in the world, and he'd have a great answer for you while getting you a nice custom fitted suit.
Sparks coming off of his Clarks, getting back to the back to get you your suit. All right, close it out. Hour 1 next here on OTB.